Woo, week 3 of the high school football season already. Good evening and welcome to the Friday Night Frenzy. I'm Preston Harvey. Sports Director Amy Zimmer and the rest of the team will join us in just a few minutes. Idalia came and went. Thankfully, teams are able to play under the Friday night lights. Let's get on right to it. The Island Sharks hosting the South Effingham Mustangs. Island seeking their first win of the year while South Effingham looks to remain undefeated. Third quarter action, Mustangs leading 14-0. DeGennaro Caden with a quick throw to Aiden Saturday. He stops on a dime to make a defender miss. South Effingham, though, unable to capitalize on this drive. Sharks on the attack. Shet Bachman links up with receiver Jaden Sutton for the short gain along the sidelines, and then he'll be forced out of bounds, though. Later, though, Bachman looking for a deep pass to Sutton. He wants to link up with that receiver one more time. Check this out, though. Pass will be picked off by Martell. No fly zone. And trust me, he will be all fired up for this. Look at him right there. Yeah, giving his team great field position. Mustangs drive, Caden rolls out, finding Caden Ward, and he's all alone. Check this out. Woo! Breaking one tackle, man, still on his feet. South Effingham in the red zone. Very next play, Mustangs will not be denied. The senior Gannon White goes untouched into the end zone. South Effingham goes on to get the win, 35-0 in the final. Just getting started on the Friday Night Frenzy. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Friday Night Frenzy. Still plenty of games to get to tonight, including our Carolina Clash game of the week. But first, we're staying right here in the hostess city. At Savannah High, Windsor Forest taking on Johnson in this one. And the Adams Smashers get something going early as Trayshawn Robinson fields the Windsor Forest punt and he makes a nice return all the way down to the Knights' 15-yard line. Yeah, great run right there. And they would cash it in later on in the drive as quarterback Malachi Bacon finds Jaden Pugh, who takes it into the end zone for the score. And just like that, Johnson leads 7-0. And then it looked like the Adams Smashers would be in business again, as the bad snap leads to the recovery by Anthony Lavalis deep inside Windsor territory. But after a wild exchange of turnovers, the Knights defense would prevent any further scoring. As Marquise Lennon gets the sack, as you see right here, yep, Windsor Forest goes on to come back 10-7 the final. Groves leading Savannah High 8-0 late in the second quarter at Memorial Stadium. The Blue Jackets driving and Stephen Fox Jr. takes it from 7 yards out to cut into the lead 8-6 at the half. Early third quarter, the quick pass from Fox, and he finds running room. Yeah, watch out. Turns the corner and races 50 yards to the crib for a 12-8 lead for Savannah High. Grove tries to rally in the third quarter as Tommy Duncan picks up the good yardage, but the drive would stall. However, in the final seconds, the Rebels would score on 4th and 11 and hold off a desperate drive by Savannah High, intercepting a pass at the 1-yard line with 9 seconds to play for a 16-12 win, and it was Grove's first win of the season. Time for our Friday Night Frenzy Carolina Clash Game of the Week. Our Dave Williams has the highlights.
Well, Preston, here on Hilton Head Island, Beaufort County bragging rights are on the line as Beaufort High takes on the Hilton Head High Seahawks. Now, the defending champion Eagles of Beaufort, well, they're off to a winless start so far this year, while the host Seahawks, well, they won their first 2 contests on the season. But Hilton Head was looking for its first victory over Beaufort since 2015, and the Seahawks were off to a good start, leading this one 3-0 in the second quarter when big 22 member Shaik Thompson blocks the punt, and the Seahawks have it at the Eagles' 1-yard line. They would cash in on the very next play as quarterback Jackson Bibby calls his own number and sneaks it into the payoff pasture, and it's 10-0 Hilton Head. Beaufort, though, will try to mount a comeback as quarterback Samari Bonds rolls out and heaves it downfield. The Hilton Head defender tips it, but it goes right to Darrell Deppes, who takes it down to the Hilton Head 3-yard line. The drive, though, would stall, and they would have to settle for the Williams-Kaiserling field goal to cut Hilton Head's lead to 10-3. Beaufort would threaten again late in the first half, driving for a touchdown, but Hilton Head intercepts it in the end zone. However, Beaufort would come back in the second half for their first one of the season, 20-17, the final. On Hilton Head Island, Dave Williams, WJCL 22 News.
Thank you so much, David. It was a battle of the unbeatens at Saunders Field on the south side of Savannah, and our Rick Snow was there to report what happened in the showdown.
Preston, both Country Day and Aquinas are looking for their 3rd straight wins this season. If the Hornets could just beat the Fighting Irish, it would show that they belong among the better teams in Class A in Georgia. The Hornets came out with fire in their eyes, ready to take on the Irish. In the first quarter, the defense comes up big and forces an early punt. Country Day starts their opening drive, and Hires Holland picks up a big first down to the 20-yard line. Then the outlet pass to Keith James, and he makes a nice move, and he outruns the defense down the sideline as the Hornets take a 7-0 lead. But that lead lasted only moments as Jim Franklin finds Jack Rhodes open on the far sideline, and he's off to the races, 81 yards. To put Aquinas on the scoreboard, it was 7-6 when they missed the extra point. The defense would take over most of the rest of the game, stopping Country Day and holding on for a 19-7 win, and Country Day falls to 2-1 for the season. Rick Snow, WJCL 22 News.
Thank you, Rick. In Springfield, you had Effingham County hosting Statesboro. Rebels looking for their first win of the season, while Statesboro looks for their second win on the year. The home team playing tough defense early. Damari Colton with the sack. Moments later, Rebels once again getting to the QB. This time, though, it's A.J. Butch with the honors. Yeah, Rebels pass rush completely playing lights out. Effingham with a 3-0 early lead in the second quarter, and Butts now doing his thing on offense. Number 1 takes it into the end zone for the Rebel touchdown, Effingham County on top 10-0. Later in the half, now 10-7, but Effingham making it a 10-point game once again. This time, Jaden Evans gets the call, and he finds the way into the end zone to make it 17-7 at the half. Man, look at the celebration there. I love it. Third quarter, Devils inch closer. QB Bruce Yon connects with Elijah Wells, who makes the catch and cruises in for the score. Effingham, though, holds on to get their first win of the season, 24-19. Over in Richmond Hill, the Wildcats hosting the Jenkins Warriors, both teams seeking their second win of the young season. Picking this one up in the second half, Richmond Hill leading 21-0. The Wildcats keep the engine going. Hand off to Joshua Ulrich Thorpe, and he is a man on a mission. Dodging many defenders, first down, Richmond Hill. Couple plays later, though, Jenkins defense all over the run game this time. Tackle for loss to stop them and force a fourth down. Warriors on the attack now, third and long. Quarterback Jeremiah James connecting with Marquise Bush, able to make the catch, and nice awareness before going out of bounds. Same drive, though, James to Bush, and take a look at this run. Yeah, able to slip a couple of tackles for the big game before getting tripped up, though. Bush would get injured on this play, but we take him to the sideline, but he would be okay. Late third quarter, Wildcats go back to their bread and butter. Yep, you guessed it. None other than Ulrich Thorpe, and check out the strength on this play. Gain extra yards. Oh, yeah. Richmond Hill goes on to get the win, 28-7. More highlights still to come on the Friday Night Frenzy. Plus, checking in with Sports Director Amy Zimmer in Charlotte with all the excitement ahead of Week 1 of the college football season. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Friday Night Frenzy. We're going to go ahead and get you right out to our next game. St. Andrews Lions hosting John Paul II. Let's go ahead and do it. Both teams entering this matchup with a 1-1 record, looking for their second win on the season. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, take a look at this, please. St. Andrews quarterback Zayden Edwards is that guy on the gridiron. We already know what he could do on the hardwood, state champion. But look at this, the QB keeper all the way to the crib for a 61-yard touchdown. Man, extra point good. Lions jump out to a 7-0 lead. And St. Andrews not letting go of the gas pedal. Second quarter, Richard Williams adding to the rushing for the Lions, taking this one up the field for the second touchdown of the night. 14-0 St. Andrews, and they will cruise to a 36-7 win over John Paul II, picking up their second win of the season. Week 1 of the college football season is here. One of the most anticipated matchups set to go on right here on WJCL 22 between South Carolina and North Carolina. Sports Director Amy Zimmer is in Charlotte with the latest leading up to the big game.
Thanks, Preston. How about a border rivalry to kick off the 2023 college football season, where you can catch this game in prime time right here on WJCL 22 tomorrow night at 7:30. I'm outside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the South Carolina Gamecocks will take on the North Carolina Tar Heels at 7:30 Saturday night. Two talented quarterbacks preparing to go head-to-head. North Carolina redshirt sophomore Drake May, a Heisman candidate and a big reason why a whopping 45 NFL scouts from 24 different teams who are credentialed for this matchup per Charlotte Sports Foundation. Then there's veteran starting quarterback Spencer Rattler returning for the Gamecocks. Last season, Rattler connected on 264 passes for 3,026 yards. However, over 1,000 of those yards came in the final 3 games, including a pair of top 10 upset wins over Tennessee and Clemson.
When you talk about Drake May and Spencer Rattler, I see two, really good quarterbacks. He doesn't get too high, too low, very steady, and I think that's a great quality for a quarterback, and Spencer has that same quality as well. So to me, it's two really, really, really good quarterbacks that are both going to have really, really, hopefully long and prosperous NFL careers, and I know Coach Brown is happy that Drake May is his quarterback, and I'm ecstatic that Spencer Rattler is ours.
A quarterback showdown and a border rivalry all set to go down here at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte Saturday night at 7:30. And I'll have a complete recap after the game right here on WJCL 22 at 11. For now, reporting in Charlotte, I'm Amy Zimmer. Back to you.
And that's going to do it for Frenzy. Have a great night.